JW Dant Bottled and Bond, is this going to take the crown for the best bottle of budget bourbon? Let's find out. So, JW Dant Genuine Sour Mash Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey comes in at 100 proof. This bad boy is bottled in bond, and as you guys can probably see on that label there, that's coming in at $17.99. Now, for me, I'm really interested to see how this is going to fare, because for me, I thought that this was a Kentucky-only release, but I was told otherwise, that other people are finding this bottle in other places. And for Heaven Hill, dropping an $18 bottle of bourbon, I'm excited to see just how well it does. If you guys are unaware of how we do this, it's a no score of 0 to 5, a palate of 0 to 10, and a finish of 0 to 10. Tally that total up, and we will see how it falls on the leaderboard. So, without further ado, quick nose on this bad boy. Let's see what the JW Dant has to offer. Right off the bat, I'm getting sour apples. Like Granny Smith apples, really, really nice. A little bit of a nutty note. Kind of makes me like think of like apples and peanut butter. A little touch of like a caramel. But that apple note, that sour note in there, really, really prevalent. Really, really nice. Really, I love the bright fruitiness on this. I really haven't gotten a nose this sour apple in a very, very long time. It's really like mind-boggling to me how much I actually enjoy the nose on this, because you're not getting a lot of oak, you're not getting a lot of like dark fruits or, you know, like leathery notes or anything like that. No, this nose is very distinct and kind of enjoyable by itself with what this has to offer. It's really like, wow, for how light this is, how cheap this bottle is. You would think that this nose would be a little bit off-putting, that there would be some astringency on it. There is not that whatsoever. And I think for how enjoyable this nose is, for what this bottle has to offer, for a score of 0 to 5, I'm going to give the nose a 3.5. All right, so on the palate of the JW Dant, before we do that, make sure you guys drop that like, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Once we hit 15,000 subscribers, what do? We're going to be doing a giveaway. Make sure you guys drop that comment on what your thoughts are on the JW Dant down below. And check the link out down below for the Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you get on amazing bottle raffles, if you guys are unaware. The August Bourbon Raffle is a Weller 12 years, so if you want a chance to win a bottle of that, gotta check the Patreon. Cedar Ridge drop is very, very soon, and I hope to see you guys joining in. But let's get in on the palate of the JW Dant. Nutty notes on this. There's a touch of an oak that tickles the back of your throat. The caramel notes, really sweet. It's got a little bit of an oaky presence. That oak is really there, prevalent on the palate. And it's not a bitter note, but it's not the most enjoyable thing. But it has balance and it has layers. It kind of evolves from the beginning to the end. Really, really interesting. I gotta go back in. The depth of flavor that this thing has to offer in the beginning, it's bright, it's sweet, it's caramel. It's got a little touch of that, like that young oak almost. But then after it hits that mid palate and you're starting to get into the finish, it changes into something that's a little bit more deep and elevated in a way. I wouldn't say that it's an elevated bourbon, but for what the price and what the offering is, it's a little bit more elevated. It's got some more nuances to it. It kind of changes into something that's, a little bit more like a coffee kick, some cinnamon, a little bit more like baking spices come through on this thing on the tail end of that mid palate. Really, really nice. I really actually enjoy this bottle right here. I like that a lot. The palate is really nice. It's simple. It's sweet. It evolves from something in the beginning to the mid. We'll talk about the finish here in a minute, but for the initial palate of this thing, for a budget bottle, I gotta give it a 7.9. And after we talk about the palate, we talk about the finish. And what I will say is the finish of this thing is really nice. It's really nice. It's sweet. It mellows out for a 100 proofer. There's no burn on this whatsoever. There's no bitterness. There's no astringency. There's nothing saying like, hey, I just want you to know that I'm an $18 bottle. No, this bottle right here can, I want to say, go up against some heavy hitters. And I personally, for never having this prior to picking this up when I was in Kentucky, you know, I had never had this bottle by itself. I put it in a couple of old fashions. And having it by itself, it's actually a really enjoyable sip. And from the beginning of the nose to the mid palate, all the way into the finish, I didn't find anything off-putting about this bottle of bourbon right here whatsoever. And for me, I think that the JW Dant's finish has to get a score of 8.0. And if my math is correct about the JW Dant Bottled and Bond Heaven Hill bottle offering, that gives it a total score of 19.4. And looking at the board here, Wild Turkey 101 unfortunately stays in the lead, and JW Dant comes in second place, a full point behind it. Let me know down in the comments below what bottle of bourbon you think could take down that Wild Turkey 101 with a score of 20.4. Down in the comments below. Has to be under $40. But until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. JW Dant gave that Wild Turkey a run for its money. Until next time, cheers.